Hello and welcome back to The Feminine Perspective. My name is Emily.
And my name's Verity.
So this is part 2 of the last episode that you've just watched. So fluoride.
Yeah.
You know about fluoride conspiracy theory.
I know that fluoride is in our water.
So fluoride being, so obviously the conspiracy theory with fluoride is that it's used for mind control. Now, I have personal experience with this. So I can get behind this one in particular.
I always thought that fluoride was to make your teeth stronger. No.
Yeah. It's for dental practice. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they say though.
And also mind control.
Well, that's what the conspiracy is it's
Okay.
used for mind control. So it calcifies your pineal gland.
Oh.
So yeah, fluoride does that, and I'm sure that's fact. I'll double check before
We're gonna
I say
triple check.
Triple check, but I'm sure that that's the effect of fluoride, is it calcifies your pineal gland, and obviously your pineal gland is your connection to spiritual, the spirituality,
Okay.
and that's what governs sort of that gut feeling and all. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's that sort of thing. So I went through a period, this is when I was really spiritual, and I had that period, this was when Tomash was still alive,
Yeah.
and obviously I think we sort of fed into each other, but I was really interested in it. Obviously I wouldn't say I really align with that too much anymore, but at the time it really helped me, but I was so interested in it. So I obviously found the conspiracy theory of fluoride, and I watched so many videos on it, and I thought, this is interesting. And then I don't drink tap water anyway. I literally will not touch it, like to the point where even if I'm so thirsty, I will not drink tap water around someone's house. I'll take bottled water with me. And for a period of time, I went so far into it that I even bought toothpaste that was fluoride free. So I made sure that I had no fluoride in me whatsoever. And I did see a change in myself spiritually. So during this time, I then went to the dentist, and she said, it's weird, I don't know how she must have known, but then I just thought, and again it goes back to you trust those people who are, you're a professional, so I'm gonna trust you.
Did she know that you weren't using fluoride?
She said so
she's part of it too.
She is, yeah. She's trying to control me. But I just thought, okay, like, I have the ability to rationally think, and I thought, okay, I do trust my dentist.
Yeah.
I've had the same dentist since my first ever one, right? And she has worked tirelessly with me, because I used to have such a massive fear of dentists. Anyway, I digress. So she did say to me, like, are you using toothpaste with fluoride? And I was like, oh, I haven't been like using it. And she was like, okay. She said, why? And I was like, oh, just no reason. Like, I didn't go into it. I was just like, oh no, I just like, I just saw, it wasn't any particular reason. Obviously there was, and she was just like, you need to be using fluoride, toothpaste, because then she said it helps protect your teeth, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, fine. Like, but there was a good, I would say 3 to 4 months where I didn't. And quite quickly I noticed a change within myself just from cutting that out.
What was the change?
So during this time, my connection to spirituality was huge, and I don't think that was in a delusional viewpoint, because like I still was very aware of do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just things I happened to notice. So during this time I had 2 really weird dreams, really, really strange. And so the first one was, and I do think this had something to do with it as well, though, because this was the first time I ever got into tarot cards.
Oh yeah.
And I literally used them maybe 3 times, and something in it, I just felt, I just didn't like the energy on them.
Okay.
Right?
On the cards.
When I used them, something in me, I didn't feel like I really liked the energy on them.
Okay.
But I used them maybe 3 times, and it sort of coincided with all of this. So I think it was a mixture of both. And I think I opened myself up to something that I did not want to open myself up to. So the first dream I had, and both of these, I guess I'd never experienced sleep paralysis before, but this was sleep paralysis.
No.
Yeah,
That's
so-
supposed to be one of the worst
Oh
things
my God,
you
it's
can experience.
Weird. So the first one, so I was laying in bed, but it's weird because both of them I was laying exactly how I was laying, and I was in my bedroom, and I was still looking through my eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was laying in bed, and I was
no.
laying on the side to the right, and I was literally just laying there, and then I opened my eye, and my eyes are closed, like the feeling of my eyes are being closed, right? And I can only describe this as sleep paralysis because fuck knows what the hell that was.
Did you see something?
Yeah, I did. And I opened my eyes, and there was this thing. It was not human. I don't know what the hell it was. It was so close to my face, and it was like furry, but it was like its eyes were not human. It looked like a beast. That's how I would describe it. It looked like a sort of demonic beast. And I literally, it was this far away from me, looked into my eyes, like, and I looked at it for a good, like, couple seconds. And then I just went, you know, where, like, you wake up, and I literally, like, grabbed my phone and I, like, shone my light, and I was like, what the fuck was that? Like,
Do you know there's supposed to be certain things that you see in sleep paralysis, and everybody sees the same things?
why is that? Have you heard of that before? What I just
Sleep
described?
paralysis. Yeah, there's like 5 different things that people see. That's it.
Okay. Oh, really?
What?
So what I just described, is that one of them?
I don't know.
Okay.
We need to find that out.
Okay, well, the second one was completely
Was it a woman?
different experience. What?
Was it a woman, the second one?
No.
No.
Neither of them were human. Whatever the fuck it was not. So that was the first
mate,
one. That was
it's
like a
giving me
beast.
goosebumps.
Sorry. But it was just, you know, it literally was within a split second. Like, I saw it and was like, oh, like in my like I remember seeing it in my head and being like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, you know. And then obviously you know, you wake up like that, and I grabbed my phone and shone my torch and was like, what the hell? Like, I was so that was real to me. And what's so weird, so after that, I saw Tomash literally like 2 days later, maybe the next day or 2 days later, and I said to him, I was like, the weirdest thing just happened to me. I was like, and I told him about the dream, and he laughed and he said, wait till you start hearing them. And I was like, oh, I said, I don't want to get into that, like, that's yeah. He was like, oh, wait till you start hearing them. I was like, oh god, no. Like, I said I don't want to open myself up to that.
Are you joking? So this is all connected to coming off fluoride?
Yeah, well, this is, but also I dabbled in the tarot cards at that point, but I'll get to that in a second because it leads to the end of this story. Anyway, so then the second time, and this happened really quickly within each other. Second time, I was laid on again in my bed, and I was awake this time, but like obviously in my dream. Whereas the first time I was genuine, like my eyes were closed, and I just happened to open them, and I saw that thing looking at me.
That is giving me goosebumps.
Yeah. So the second one was, and this was when this happened. This was when I got rid of the tarot cards because I was like, I don't like them. Like, that's what made me sort of think, well, it must be linked to them. And I later found out that tarot cards are the only cards that can be used for evil as well. And there has to be a level of protection that when you use them. Yeah. And I think that obviously when I used them, I wasn't very like clued up on it. So I obviously did not protect myself the right way. But I do think the fact that I was off floor, I think it was all of these things. But anyway, so the second one I had was, I'm laying in my bed on my back this time, but I'm sort of half sat up, sort of like on the pillows, and this thing is laying on me, and it was about the size of, I don't know, maybe like a 7-year-old child, and it was completely naked, hairless, but it didn't have genitals. It wasn't male or female. It was just a being, and it had was bald, completely hairless, like really pale white skin, and it was laying on me. Its chest was on my head. Sorry.
Its head.
My
chest was on my head.
Chest was on my its head was on my chest. My god, imagine.
God. Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry, I was laying there. Its head was on my chest, and it was laid on me, and it was curled, and it had a leg over me. So it was cuddling me with its leg across my legs, right? And I had my arm around it, and I was like cradling it with one arm, and then I was stroking its head with the other hand, right? So I'm like, it's
gross.
cradling me, and I'm like this, and I didn't feel.
Were you awake? You were asleep.
Well, no, in this dream I was awake, like this. I'm seeing this is happening.
Okay,
but obviously I must have been asleep.
You were asleep, okay.
Right? I assume.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I've got my arm around it. I'm stroking its head, and I'm saying, I just keep repeating the same thing, and I keep going, "You need to look after yourself, Emily. You need to look after yourself." And that's all I kept repeating over and over and over. And it had its eyes closed, and then I stopped repeating it, and I was just looking at it, and I didn't feel any certain way. Whereas when I saw the other one, I felt like, ugh, what the hell? Whereas this one, I didn't feel weird about it. It felt quite normal. And then I was just looking at it, and then it opened its eyes.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at it, and when it opened its eyes, I then went, ugh, and I took my hand off it. And as soon as it opened its eyes, I felt this, like, you know, like, what's the word? Repulsion. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt this repulsion looking at it, and I was like, ew. And then it gets up, and it just towers above me, and then I'm looking. Oh no, it's like the size of a 7-year-old.
But then it's towering above you.
Then it's towering above. It gets up and it starts towering above me, and I then look at it, right, and I'm looking it up like this as it's looking, and it's just looking down at me like that. Oh, one thing to mention as well, it had my face.
No.
Yeah, so this thing
is scary.
So this thing was, I can't believe I forgot that. It was such an important part. Yeah, this thing was about the size of a 7-year-old, completely naked, not male nor female, had no genitals. It was just a thing. It was light white skin, and it had my face, but it was bold like nothing, right? And it had my face on it.
That's weird.
Yeah, and obviously it's got my face, and I'm holding this thing, and I'm repeating, "You need to look after yourself, Emily. You need to look after yourself," whilst I'm stroking its head. And then obviously it opens its eyes, and I'm like, ugh, and then it towers over me like that. And then and it's just looking at me, like deep into my soul. It's looking into me. And then eventually I again woke up, and then same thing. I grabbed my phone, and I was like, what the fuck? And like both of those things happened within like a good week or two of each other. Like they were very quick when I was like, okay. And then that's the moment where I was like, I don't think I should use these tarot cards anymore.
And then it stopped.
And then it stopped. I've never had it since.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then also with the fluoride thing. So I had these really strange experiences of I don't know how I can explain it, like messages. But it wasn't audible message. It was just a figure, like something in my head where I just could feel it's like a download of information, you know what I mean?
Like a telepathic message.
Yes, it was weird. So, right, how weird is this, right? So this was during this time. I'm not taking the fluoride or anything. So I had a client, and she was coming, she'd been coming to me for, like, I've known her for years, right? And this one day she comes to me and she sits down, and as soon as I grab her hands, because obviously I'm touching people's hands, literally the moment I did that, it was like, she's pregnant in my head, right? And I thought, oh, how do I navigate this one? And it was like loud in my head. And then I just started, and I had that thing, and she was literally mid talking to me, and I went, are you pregnant? And she was like, no. She's, why? What made you say that? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, obviously, instantly I think, oh my God, I don't want to like upset anyone, you know? And I was like, oh no, sorry, it's not. She said, why did you say that? I was like, oh, no reason. Like, you know, maybe it's nothing. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that to me. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, and she was like, no, it's fine. And she said, oh my God. She was like, I've literally not told anyone. She said, I'm not pregnant. She said, we are trying. But she said, I've not said anyone, because she didn't want to tell her mum no one, because she said with telling comes the expectation of like, then they're going to be like, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah. So she was like, I've literally not told anyone. She said, that is mad that you've just said that to me. And keep in mind, this isn't like she's a new client. Like, I've known this person for such a long time. And I was like, oh, haha, you know, and I said, maybe you are and you just don't know about it. And she said, no, I'm definitely not.
I know what you're going to say.
She said, I took a pregnancy test yesterday. She said, I know I'm not pregnant. And I was like, okay, well, maybe that's in the near future for you. And then the whole appointment, she just kept and was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It was in disbelief that I'd said that, right? Yeah. Anyway, then I said to her, I was like, if you find out that you're pregnant, I said, I know it's scary to tell me when it's so soon. I said to her, but please let me know, because I would love to know if I was right. Because I want to know where that come from.
Yeah.
If that was true.
Yeah.
So 4 weeks go by, right? I've not heard from her. So she comes to a next appointment. She comes to me. She goes upstairs. The moment I opened the door, I was like, oh, yeah. Like, it was strong before. This was, like, fucking crystal clear to me now. I was like, this girl is 1000%. I just know it. I feel it in my soul. So she comes upstairs and she sits down. And instantly, normally how every single nail appointment of mine goes, they'll sit down and I'll be like, what would you like? Like, do you have a design idea in mind? Straight away, as soon as she sits down, she was like, so I've been thinking about ideas. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Normally it's I am the one who says, like, literally almost every single time. She was like, so, and then she's showing me photos of nails, and she's like, oh, I was thinking of this, thinking of it. And then she scrolls baby scan, and I was like, oh, I fucking knew it. And I was like, you're pregnant? She was like, yes. She was like, I am. And she was like, Emily, she said, I swear to you, she said, I did not know when you said that to me. She said, I genuinely did not believe that I was. She said, Emily, she's like, when I went home, she said the next day she couldn't get out of her head what I'd said to her. So she was running herself a bath, and she said that just her boobs felt really sore. Yeah. So she was like, because of what I said, she was like, you know, like kept thinking about it. She was like, I'm just going to take another one. Keep in mind the day before, it was negative. Yeah. So now the day after, she then took that pregnancy test, and she said she was positive.
That's crazy.
It gets even weirder.
Oh my God.
So
okay,
she said that to me, right? Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I was right. And then I was thinking, how weird that and we're both talking about how fucking weird this is, right? Yeah. Anyway, she then says to me, oh, but I would love to know, like, if you know what it is. And then I was like, yeah, like I'll let you know. Yeah. Like, as soon as I get a feeling, I'll let you know. Another 4 weeks goes by, right? Her next appointment. Obviously, we've discussed this plenty of times now. This is the third time she's come to me. She sits down and we're just talking. She goes, do you know what it is? I said, you're having a girl. Aww. And she was like, oh, she said, I think that too, because she said that she had a dream, and in her dream she was carrying a baby girl. And I was like, you're having a girl. What is so strange is that her baby due date was in November. And then 22nd of October, it was completely like unexpected, whatever. She went, like, it was literally like boom, it just happened, you know. Went to hospital, had the kid. She was born on my birthday.
That's crazy,
isn't it?
Yeah.
How strange is that?
That's so weird. Yeah. I think sometimes you do just get feelings about things. Yeah. But this has happened
to me 3 times now, where I've told people that they are pregnant and they were.
You could charge money for that, you know. Just like,
I can't switch it on though, but it's just like a, you know.
I think there's something to be said. Like, you definitely can pick up on things, and I think you can only do it if you're in that spiritual place, though, in your mind.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, I think if you're open to it, which I definitely was at that time. I was very open towards those sorts of things. So
yeah, whereas like now, I would be like,
yeah, I still have like weird or like weird dreams and stuff like that. Anyway, fast forward, obviously Tomasz passes away, and then on his death anniversary, I went to a medium, and I talked about this in my reading. She says, she was like, this was completely random as well. She said, your tarot cards, she was like, were they given to you or did you buy them? And I said, I bought them. She went, I don't like the energy on them. And she didn't know that. Obviously, she knew nothing about me, but she just brought it up. She said the tarot cards. And it's weird. And then I said to her, I was like, yeah. I said, I got that feeling as well. I said, so I stopped using them. I said, I haven't touched them in over a year. And she said, yeah. And then later on in our reading, she brings it up again. And she says, those tarot cards, she said, I really don't like them. She was like, if I were you, I'd be getting you to make your cards. She was like, you've got the gift, but you just haven't learned how to fine tune it yet.
Have you made your cards?
No, because when he died, I just sort of I put all that to bed and thought, I didn't have the capacity to even, because that was our thing. Yeah. Even though I started it without him, he very quickly came back into my life, literally within like a few weeks of me getting into it. So I feel like when he died, I lost sight of it.
You were like, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Maybe it's something I could return to, but it's not the same without him.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think happens after you die?
Don't know.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
I used to. I don't know if I do anymore. But
why?
I used to be really spiritual.
I feel like everyone's had this like phase, haven't they? And then they
sort of early to mid 20s. I was very spiritual. Yeah. And very, I think, because you're looking for answers.
Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of people turn to religion and stuff as well, don't they?
And I think that's the time where you start to question things, and so you're looking for answers, and so
true.
You want, and also you're looking for comfort. Maybe you're trying to navigate like early adulthood. So, but I was, and I think my stepdad obviously played a huge part in that.
Because I do think a lot of people in their early 20s have an existential crisis.
I
certainly did. Yeah, I think that's why I turned to because obviously the talk about the fear of death was what brought me into it. So I think a lot of people, when you're 20, you're like, oh my god, I think it's just that becoming of an adult that you're then like, oh my god, what the hell, this is so much, you know, you almost have that awakening, I suppose. And then it's I think because you get older, whereas when you're a kid you don't question anything, you just live. Whereas when you become an adult, you start to question things.
So much.
You start to see evil in the world, and you know, and then I think you're sort of met with this realization of that, like, oh, death is real and it's coming, and it comes for everyone.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of navigating that, and which is why I think a lot of people turn to religion. And you know, religion definitely has its place in the world. There's no doubt about that. I think without religion, there wouldn't be order, or you know, I think it gives people a reason to be good. Because if you fear something evil, then that's a good way to control people, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you believe in a religion, I'm all for that.
Like, I definitely think it's got its place in the world, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I would say, I don't think mine was due to a crisis, but I think it was due to definitely feeling like I needed answers to certain things. Obviously, my stepdad passed away when I was 25, so that... the lead up to that as well, his diagnosis, all of that, I think is probably and then also his influence in terms of like interpreting dreams in Buddhism and meditation, and like, and also tarot cards was a big part of my life growing up as a child. It wasn't me that read them, it was my uncle, my step uncle. My mum
has some as well. She had them passed down from her nan. And like, I would one day like them, but I think I'm saving it for them, because I tried to get my own and it didn't feel right. Whereas I feel like them, I would feel good energy from, you know, because they're passed down. Yeah.
And you know the energy connected to that as well, and trust that energy. Yeah, that's fair. Well, I think sometimes as well, if tarot cards are bought, well, anyway, I won't get into that, but
the energy with the manufacturers and stuff like
exactly.
That.
It's not that kind of creative, meaningful spiritual process that's supposed to go into them.
Absolutely. That's why I think that I sort of had weird energy off them. Whereas, like, to be fair, like, my mum she doesn't really use them anymore at all. Like, she did sort of get them because I would like prompt her to give me a reading and stuff, and because I was interested in it, I would do that. And they definitely are like the readings that we'd have. I remember I made her give me and this guy, do you remember that guy that broke my front door?
Yeah, I remember him.
That's a story.
We've not talked about him yet.
No, your podcast episode is coming. But she gave us all the reading, and his was so bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I can't remember specifics, but it was weird. And I remember like, and that was sort of all that thing really, like, it was literally maybe a week later, if that, like, where all this happened. But because I believed in it so heavily as well, I remember Mum reading out the reading, and my friend Shannon was there as well, and we all were sort of looking at each other like,
interesting.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the time where my uncle used to do readings like growing up as a kid? And did I tell you about the time where I was with this guy? I might have mentioned it on here, to be fair. I feel like I remember telling you.
I don't remember.
I was with this guy, and my uncle did this tarot card reading, and he did it, and then he looked at him and went, "Is there someone else?" Right?
Who's this to?
The guy I was seeing at the time.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
So, and I was like, looking at him like, what do you mean? Is there someone else? And then he was like, no, there's no one else. Anyway, my uncle's like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, carries on. And then he lays out these cards again. He's like, no, seriously.
Yeah.
You need to be honest now. Is there someone else? And he was like, no, there's no one else. And do you remember when I told you, and I have spoken about this on these podcasts before, the guy that we were talking about, basically this girl rocked up at my door,
yes,
showed me the messages on the phone, I got crossed through the fruit bowl at the wall.
Yeah. Is that him?
That's him.
Oh.
So she then turns up at my door.
That's the things where I could see myself leaning back into it, because there's things like that and things that I've had happen where I'm like, that is inexplainable.
Yeah, inexplainable. And he knew, my uncle knew, reading those cards.
For sure. Was his face like, oh shit, like they've gotten me?
No, he just...
Or was he poker face?
He was poker face, but I think in that moment also looked a bit fearful. But I suppose you would if you've had your cards read and actually there isn't someone else, and one of your like partner's family members is sat in front of you going, is there someone else? You're going to have that fear. So I didn't really think anything of it at the time, but I did think it's unusual for my uncle to be wrong. So yeah, that's definitely, I love stuff like this. Have you ever done a Ouija board?
No,
have you not?
Never fucking, no way. You couldn't pay me any amount of money to do that shit. I'm guessing you have.
Yeah. And
how was that experience?
So, I've done it several times. I'd only ever tried it once when I was a kid, which was stupid. And I did it in the house, and we didn't like say hello and goodbye as you're supposed to and do all of that stuff. So that's probably why I was then haunted forever in the new house that I went to. It's just that thing following me around. Yeah. But so when I next did a Ouija board was with one of my work colleagues, and she knows who she is. I'm not going to say her name, but so, and we were all like, we do them at like social events and stuff, but we went to stay in a manor close by as a work event. Right, it was something, obviously work didn't pay for it or anything, but it was something organised, like all of us were going to go and socialise and basically go on this like ghost hunt. So we went to this haunted manor, and we stayed in a haunted manor for the whole night, and we did a Ouija board, and it was like...
Who was you with?
Work colleagues. Is interesting. So one of the girls that I work with goes on like ghost hunts all the time and does Ouija boards, and she knows how to like open them up and close them down safely, how to protect people's energy, and if things get dangerous. So like when I've done Ouija boards before, sometimes they can like they mimic the people that you love, and then they start to like... Oh, it's creepy. It's giving me goosebumps. Okay,
talk about what happened in that, like...
In the haunted mansion?
Yeah.
Okay. So, nothing on the Ouija board. I actually found the Ouija board, like,
Oh, really?
Yeah. But later on in the night, so nothing was really happening that much, right? So, I was a bit like, oh...
So, you got the Ouija board out and nothing really happened?
The Ouija board... The Ouija board moved, but I was so used to the Ouija board moving by this point that it wasn't really...
And you know that for sure no one was moving that.
Well, and I didn't feel like that. It wasn't spelling out anything in particular. Like if you actually speak to somebody from who's passed using a Ouija board, then you can ask them questions, right? What's your date of birth? Yeah. No one else around the table knows that. True. So that's how you confirm that person's identity. But sometimes dark spirits can kind of mimic it, get hold of it. So you have to really ask questions that only you and that person would know. So what was the last thing you said to me, or you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, when it's someone that's a little bit when it's a dark spirit as well, what can start to happen is they start to just like move around the board really, really quickly. So your fingers will all be touching. Sometimes like they kind of lift off slightly. So you literally just got your nail on and this thing is going round and round all these letters. But in this manor that we went to, it was a great experience. I felt like the people who did the Ouija board, like the ghost or whatever it wasn't coming out with a genuine message. But they also had like I don't know what they're called, but things that pick up on different like energies in the room, like, you know, all those machines,
is it EDM meters or
yeah,
something? I can't remember what they're called.
I don't know
they're meter. Is it the things that
they make a sound and then the lights light up?
Yes, yeah.
So
there's one, isn't there, that's like it comes out with certain words as well. Was that there?
Yeah, that was there. So we had all of this stuff, right? So we all went up into this attic room, and this is where it all went down. And I was like, oh my God. I wasn't convinced prior to this. We'd been there about 8 hours or maybe less.
Oh my God, that's
we'd been there
long.
a long time.
Yeah.
And then we all went up into this attic room, getting goosebumps.
Oh my God.
Sat there. And all of a sudden, I'm trying to remember it like as accurately as possible. So we had like this ghost hunting company with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a guy and a girl in the room with us, and like about 6 or 7 of us all upstairs in this attic room, sat on the floor or on the bed or whatever, and we were all chatting away, and we had all these machines in there as well, and we had one outside the door. One of the machines outside the door went off, and then the other one inside here went off, and then all of a sudden this guy who was part of the ghost hunting company, his head like dropped on me, honestly.
What?
I'm not joking. And then all of a sudden he just like looked up.
Oh
no, but you think this,
yeah, but
right?
he's with the company though.
He's with the company, but the manor isn't connected to the company, and I'll tell you why. Because I was a bit like, oh yeah, come on. But wait until this all goes down, right? So the other stuff isn't connected to the company. So his head drops. He looks up. He doesn't really say anything. He's just like staring.
How does he look up? Do it again.
Just like his head drops and he just looks up.
Just normal, not
just
even
normal.
like
but then he's just like blank staring ahead. And I'm looking at him.
Yeah.
I'm looking at one of my colleagues,
yeah,
who is not a hugger, by the way, at this point. She's if someone's struggling emotionally, she's like, there, like, just keep your
physical
distance.
touch is not her language.
Physical touch is definitely not her language. So we're like looking at each other, and she's like, you're all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm all right, I'm fine. Anyway, then these things, these meter things, which kind of make like a screechy noise and then started to light up ridiculously. They hadn't lit up all night, and now they're like flashing like this. And then this guy's eyes are like super, super wide, and then the word thing starts going off, and I can't remember what it said. Me and Charlotte are sat there, and then all of a sudden this mirror, which had been on the wall again, they don't own this manor. This manor's not connected to them. They haven't got anything on this mirror at all. This mirror just goes bang, like,
what?
Yeah, I'm not joking. So it's one of those mirrors that's like, you know, on like a stand. So, you know, like it's like one that you would stand on a dressing table. So it's got a stand, and then it's got like a mirror on a hinge in the middle of it, right? So this mirror is it's a heavy mirror. It's leant like this against the wall, but also on its stand, and it just cracks forwards. There's nothing on the wall. There's nothing on the mirror.
What? It just... Hold on, let's describe that again.
So it's like a normal dressing table mirror that you would have, not on a wall, it's on a stand.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But it's leant. It's on its stand, but it's also leant against the wall. So imagine the stand is like here, and the mirror's on its hinges, and it's leant against the wall, and it just cracks forwards. And then the things started
all the way forward, like flat.
All the way forwards, like, and to a point where it's made like a ridiculously horrible noise. The room's really fucking cold. These things are screaming. Me and my colleague, who doesn't like physical touch, literally like jumped into each other's arms, like, ah!
Yeah.
And people were like, we need to get out of here. And that's the only thing.
Even the ghost people were like, we need to get out of here?
Yeah, we need to get out of here.
Oh my God,
like,
really?
We need to get out of here.
Was he all right? Do you know anything what happened to that guy afterwards?
He was fine in the end, like, but it was just a bit bizarre. Like, it, and I was like,
he was possessed.
I mean, I don't know if I believe in it, in possession. I think there was definitely something about his energy that changed and his eyes that changed, and I was like, ooh.
But what was he like afterwards? Or did you leave them
Just
there?
exhausted. So no, he went downstairs and he was just like wiped out. Like literally like wiped out and was like, oh, I'm going to go to bed. And then I think most of us decided we were going to try and go to sleep.
Did you have a protection thing afterwards or before going in there?
We had it before. We had protection. I'm sure we did before, but I can't remember.
See, I don't know if I'd ever do something like that because I wouldn't want to open myself up to that sort of world, you know?
It was...
wonder if anything bad... Did anything bad happen to any of you afterwards? Like anyone die or... Any like bad luck?
Not that I'm aware of, or not that I can think back. Like I didn't tie anything in with that.
Yeah.
But I did think like, I'm not sure. And since then, I don't think we've done another Ouija board or anything. I'm trying to think whether we have or not, but I don't think we have. But we used to have some fun times on that, and I know, before I did it, I was like, oh, don't take that stuff seriously. That thing's not going to move. It's not going to move. And then when it started moving, my colleague was laughing at me like, Verity, you're so fucking dramatic. Your face is so dramatic. But I was like, but it's fucking moving. Like, and no one's pushing this. Like, and
How do you know that for certain though?
You just know, because when you have your hand on it, you can feel when someone pushes it. You know which direction it's coming from. This thing is just like everyone's fingers are literally like this.
Oh, just hovering.
Yeah,
over it.
There's no way you're pushing that. They say that a Ouija board, I mean, the counter argument is that everybody's got their fingers on it, and that you kind of are almost like, if there's like a micro movement that someone else picks up with it and they go with it. I don't know how true that is, but it was an experience. It was definitely an experience.
I don't think there's any other conspiracy theories that I think as well. I know we sort of trailed off that, but I thought that was very interesting.
It is interesting. I like that kind of stuff.
Oh my god, I literally could talk about that all day. I find that so interesting.
I think a lot of people could talk about this all day.
I agree.
I think we should do another episode on this.
Have you got more stories then, stuff that you haven't spoken about?
What, in terms of like that type of stuff? Yeah. Thing is, it doesn't really come to my head. I'd have to like start talking about stuff and then I remember it, like the Ouija board stuff, like countless times.
My mum's ex-boyfriend, he did a Ouija board, right? And they were like cooking something downstairs, and when they were upstairs playing the Ouija board, the whole thing set on fire. Like whole house went up in flames.
No.
And he ever since then was like, fuck that, like never again.
They say it's like it can have really negative energy.
Yeah, that's why I would never ever fuck with anything like that. I would never play, like I couldn't take part in something like that. I just couldn't do it. I like to sleep at night.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Then even like people that don't necessarily believe in like spirituality or ghosts, I still think they don't fuck with Ouija boards either. Do you know what I mean? They're like, oh no.
It's like unknown territory I wouldn't want to get into.
Which is fair. I get that. I understand that. And I think it was just seeing my colleague who like has had so much experience with it, and she's such a like lovely, happy woman. Do you know what I mean? And has very good energy. Yeah. And so trusting her to do that and to facilitate that gave me a lot more confidence in that process. Yeah. And so I did trust her, because before that I would have said no. Obviously I tried it when I was a kid and that was it. And then her would you ever do something like that again, like a sort of a like a haunted night? Yeah, I would, as long as I apart from the attic thing, I didn't find it as scary as I thought it would. Yeah. I would. I mean, obviously, if I was in the house on my own, I would have been... You definitely don't think they orchestrated that? No, I don't think they orchestrated the mirror. And I don't think they I mean, I don't know what... Did they feel genuine? They were like, we need to get out of here? Yeah, yeah. Like, that felt like, oh, shit. That felt genuine. I was a bit, like, sceptical about the possession, if you like. Yeah, yeah. I was a bit like... That's what would make me go... Yeah, is him being like, the fact that he worked with the company is just a bit odd to me. Whereas if that was one of you, can you imagine? Then it would be like, okay, this is weird. Yeah. But then maybe I'd do it on purpose, just to fuck with everyone. Exactly. You just don't know, do you? Yeah. But in that moment, I think it was just like a bunch of stuff that I mean, these things had not been going off all night. Like,
Yeah.
occasionally it might just go, like, these random, like, voice recordings might just be like, bacon.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You're like, what?
well, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, that's not. But that it all was very coincidental how it all just happened in this room. And I was like, oh my God, it's real. It's real. We're going to die. Dramatic with the whole thing.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that, but probably be open to some. I don't know, because then I don't know if me being in that and enticing that would make it attached to me.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, ooh, I don't really want to fuck with that. You know?
I feel like you've got quite open energy.
I do, yeah, which is why I worry about stuff like that.
Yeah,
because I think I am very open, and that's why I have weird dreams and all of these things. But I feel like right now my open energy is good.
Yeah.
And I don't want to start bringing anything into that could be negative.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think when I was 24, 25 and much more spiritual, there's no way I would have done that. So it's only now as I've like closed off to that. Like, you asked me if I believe there's an afterlife, and I'm like, I used to. I don't know, but then I wouldn't say that there's not. I think maybe I've just lost my connection with that spiritual. I still think I'm spiritual as a person, but I'm just not as connected.
Not into it as much as you were. Yeah. Do you believe in reincarnation?
I used to. Yeah.
That's the one where they get funny for me, because I think you can't have both.
What do you mean?
So, like, you either have, in my opinion, I feel like you either have reincarnation, or your people who have passed become sort of your spirit guides. And I don't think you can get signs off someone who's already reincarnated and moved on to the next life.
So I have a theory for this. So this is what I used to believe.
Go on.
Right. So, and it's connected to numerology in a little bit of like life paths. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
So
mine is 6.
Is it? My brother's is 6, and I'm trying to think who else is 6. Someone else.
What's yours?
Mine and my daughter's is number 9.
Yeah.
And so if you add up my birthday,
That's a bit weird that both of you are
yeah, I'm not going to go into
birthdays. Wait,
yeah,
what?
well, I was going to say, so if you add it all up, like depending on which way you add it, it either goes 999, and then you add it all together, and then it's a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I thought
so
you add them all. Isn't it? It's like, for me, it would be like 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus.
Yeah,
you know
don't say that on the thing though.
What?
2 plus 2, because you're giving out your date of birth.
So?
Oh, you don't care.
People wouldn't. It wouldn't take a genius to figure it out.
True.
I'm not bothered about my date of birth. Yeah.
So
we actually talked about our birth chart in detail. So.
Oh yeah, true. To be fair.
So like, there's not anything you could figure out about that.
So so mine is the first. So the date.
Yeah.
So if you divide it by the columns, so the first column, the second column, and the third column, so day, month, year.
Yeah.
All of those add up to 9 individually. And then when you add them all together, even if you...
But I thought it was like...
Yeah, it's when you add them all together.
Yeah, add them all together and then...
It's still the same. It still ends up being 9.
Oh, really?
But it was just interesting to me that, like, my day, my
strange,
month and my
what
year...
What is your day?
27.
Oh, yeah.
2 add 7.
Yeah, true.
0, 9, 1, 9, 8, 9. 9, 9, 9.
That's so
It's
weird.
fucking freaky, innit? I'm like...
Yeah.
So I have a theory that it's connected to numerology. So so as you move through that depends on how far through that cycle, I suppose, you are before you're then on your last life. Like, you know, like a cat has 9 lives.
Yeah. That's probably where it comes from, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, do you delve more into that a little bit?
So I reckon, so you're born in life. Well, this is what I used to believe.
Yeah.
You're born into life path 1.
Yeah.
And you work your way through all the life paths until you reach life path 9.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
your final one.
That's your final one before you're just, that's it. You go off into the spirit world and join like up with everything else.
Go to like higher planes of existence. Yeah. Some people call that heaven, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or whatever you believe in. So you think you have to reincarnate 9 times, or...
Yeah.
You think, okay, that's interesting.
That's what I used to believe.
Yeah.
That you work your way through, and then life path 9 is like the last life path.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still believe that now, but that was something that I was really focused on.
It's interesting because I have always said to people that I feel like I'm on my last life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do, because I feel like I've learned everything.
Yeah.
Like everything that I've gone through in life, I've taken all of the lessons from that.
Yeah.
And like, you know, we've said before, like I do think I am far beyond my years
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of just my age.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, you know,
But I think as a 6, you would get that from your empathy, right? So a life path 6 is very much about other people, and it's very much empathy.
Yeah.
Whereas life path 9 is more like incorporates the numbers of all the numbers. So I don't fully remember all of numerology, but life path 9 is essentially made up of each number along the way. Number 6 is about it's just full of empathy, which would make sense in terms of how you are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't feel like I feel like I've got empathy and a lot of empathy for people, but yours is like next level. Like you will just absorb other people's energy.
I do. Oh shit. Yeah, I do. I feel like, again, it's almost why this whole thing bothered me so much. Like I really like you know, obviously blur this out, but he messaged me and was like, he said, I was a bit worried about you when you sort of like dropped off with the feminine perspective stuff. He said, because this has got so much potential. He said it would be such a shame. And I was like, no, like it's not that, but I get so energetically affected by things that sometimes I need to take that time to just sort of recharge, you know, because things do really affect me. And I was so bothered by this.
I know, and that's why I was like, you need to protect your energy now.
You know what? That's one thing Thomas used to say to me all the time.
Yeah.
He said you are too. He said people love your energy and they'll
zap it.
Yeah. He said there are people in life are energy vampires and people will drain you of your energy. And he said you have too much energy to give to people. You need to protect it. And he's the one that always used to tell me to wear a dark crystal because it protects your energy. Yeah, I need to start wearing that again, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe you do. Because obviously that's why I said to you.
He gave me quite a few as well. Like he'd always just give me he would like, oh, I got. You know, he said that he'll have the thing in his head. He was like, I was told to give you this today. Yeah. And he'd just give me a random one that he felt like I needed to benefit from.
Yeah, I think
which is nice.
That is lovely. And I think you need to start doing that. But like when I messaged you earlier in the week and I was like, girl, like that's so beautiful that you have that much empathy, but you've got to keep that feel. It's
just hard. I find it really hard because I am so governed by feeling. I guess that's the Pisces moon in me, isn't it? But I am. The thing is, though, even though I feel so deeply, I do think I have good logic as well. I do think I have the ability to really think logically and remove a lot of emotion from my thinking.
I don't think you should remove emotion from your thinking.
No, but I mean, like, you know how some people are like, it's negative emotion that governs their thinking, whereas I don't feel that with me. I'm very good at recognizing how I'm feeling and then thinking about it from that sort of state, like why do I feel this way, blah blah blah. Do you know what I mean?
You're not reactive.
No, I'm not reactive at all. I'm very calm and patient.
Whereas I'm like total opposite. I'm like, oh, I feel this. Well, it depends what I'm feeling.
I would probably agree with you, actually. I do think you're more reactive.
I'm like, bang, and then I'm like,
we've had conversations and I've said to you, I'm like, let's just calm down for a second. Let's just think about this.
As me like raging. Then I'm like, oh no, actually, that does make sense. But in that moment, I'm like, fuck this. Like, very reactive. And I am able to kind of go, whoa, chill. But it just takes that little extra time for me to tell my emotions to calm down. I really liked that episode.
Yeah, me too. That was good. It's been kind of nice as well. Like, I know we've touched on some quite heavy subjects, especially in terms of relationships and stuff like that, but and I think that's a good thing to talk about, and I'm glad we've talked about it. But it is nice to sort of bring it back sometimes and just talk a little bit about some other stuff, you know.
We've had some quite light,
really good conversations today.
We've had deep, and we've had suspicious, and we've had intelligent, and we've had light-hearted stuff as well. I've loved that. And thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, follow us on all socials: Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Amazon Music. We are on it all.
We are.
Thank you so much for your continued support. We've been really enjoying this so far, so we hope you're enjoying it as much as we are, and we really appreciate your support. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next episode, which is next Sunday at 5 p.m.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.